Hello everyone, I thought I'd record this quick video to take you through this text mining app that I've been working on for the last 2 or so years. Some of you have been asking for an update, so this is a video to kind of take you through this update. For the rest of you, what is this app? So this is a text mining app that takes large volumes of user data, say user reviews, user feedback, interview transcripts, mines that for topics and categories. And then what you can do after that is you can talk to the data, and what I'll be showing you is how you can ask it for, say, give you some problem statements that you can work on. So why did I build this app? Well, hopefully that'll become apparent, and I'll explain that as I take you through the app itself. So the first thing is the data. So what I did was I went through Trustpilot, tried to find some interesting data set to use for this as a use case. Skillshare seemed like an interesting data set, so I scraped the Trustpilot data, and here is an example of some of that data. So review text, country code, data review, data of experience, rating. And all of that was pumped into the tool that I'm about to show you. So this is my tool, by the way. So this on the left side here are all of the active projects that I'm working on. I'm taking you through the Skillshare reviews project, so that's fine. This part I'll explain that in a second. For now, let's just cover off this summary, which really explains what is happening behind the scenes. And that transparency is something that is very, very important to me for this tool. So 1,377 responses were split into 3,441 specific points. So what are specific points? Well, when users give you feedback or when users give you a review, they'd often jump from point to point, and they'd make different points which could be categorized, themed differently. And sometimes it'd be saying something that's positive, sometimes it'd be saying something that's negative. So it's really important to make the atomic unit of what they've said those specific points. So I'd call them specific points, fragments, quotes, whatever. These specific points were then categorized into, in this case, 261 themes. Individual themes were found from those points, and then clustered into the following clusters. So there's about 7 clusters here. As you can see with those clusters, we've got a cluster title and then the number of responses for each cluster. So that gives you a sense of how important these clusters are. And then the percentage of total responses that were relevant for each cluster. So if I expand this out, this is where I can see the themes that make up those clusters. 533 responses that were to do with feedback on Skillshare for learning and teaching skills, quality of instructions, 353 responses, and these are the percentage of the total responses. So let's explore this diverse content offerings theme a little bit more. So select that. And this is the atomic unit that I was talking about, the quotes or the specific points. So these are all of the points that were related to that theme. It was this level of granularity and data that was very important to me, because that then helped me really fine-tune this thing for accuracy, and also gives me confidence that all of the analysis I'm about to do is based on a level of accuracy that I'm happy with. So for instance, diverse content of offerings, so many good classes, there are many courses to pick from, wide variety of content, very, very limited if you want to learn software development, etc., etc. So everything to do with diversity of content offerings there. If I scroll over to the side, not only do I get the quote, but I get the sentiment label for each specific point that the users were making. So most of them are positive here, but there's a negative one there. There's the original response text if you wanted to see it, and then some other metadata, for example, country, date review, rating, etc. These are specific filters that I can apply So I can filter the quotes down to a specific level and only see responses for specific, for instance, sentiment, which is a big one. So let's look at all of the negative sentiments. So negative sentiments, you can see here that the majority of themes are to do with user experience, 386 responses. And if I explore those a little bit more, I can see that the issues are to do with customer renewals. So for instance, here there's people whose membership renewed without warning, etc., etc. So once I've explored the data enough, I can go on to talk to the data and select a specific cluster. Here I've selected the user experience cluster, but I can select any cluster that I want. Negative sentiments. And then the question I want to ask is about the problem statement. So let's select that. This is a pre-prepared prompt that I've got. So let's limit it to 4 and ask the AI. So what's going to happen is that this is all of the quotes, all of the data that's going to be passed along to ChatGPT to then ask this question of it. This, which is about, getting problem statements. I can ask any other question that I want, but this is an important one for me at this point. And here, I can just download this data if I wanted to. I can go to ChatGPT and upload this. But for this purpose, I'm just going to ask it for the problem statements, basically. So let's wait for it to come back with a response. And here's the output. So problem statement. Feel the Skillshare cost of Skillshare is not justified as they believe they can access similar resources on free platforms like YouTube. That's something that was seen in the responses as we explored them. And some potential solutions here. So yeah, there are a whole bunch of problem statements there. So the reason why I was going through showing you that the problem statements are tailored to the specific problems that were highlighted by users. So I think that's really important. What I can do next is I could ask it for some specific hypotheses, or or ask whatever questions to drill down further or whatever. But basic point is that I find that being able to filter down to specific category of issues and then ask for specific problem statements, so you get some really good, valuable problem statements out of this tool, which can then be used to hypothesize later on. So what's next? Well, I'm going to be working on a whole bunch of feature updates on this, as well as trying to really kind of refine the accuracy, speed of performance, etc., all of those kind of things. If this is a tool that you think could be valuable to you, then please reach out. Whether you have a data set for me to put in there for you to, or not, you can feel free to kind of browse through the existing data sets, example data sets that I've got here. The kind of core thing that I want to try and do is I want to make sure that anything that I do is features that I build that are going to be useful for people. So yeah, that's really important for me going on. But yeah, thank you very much for your attention today, and hope you have a great day.